Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about confusing skincare. I don't know how many times I see people run to Target, they buy a product, they get home and they're like, how the heck do I use this? Or all of a sudden that simple product is like overcomplicating your routine and all of a sudden you're like overloading on all of these active ingredients. It can get so confusing, and I feel like brands right now, they're launching these products that are so complex, and I think the right intentions are there, but when we try and add those into our routine, we're seeing a lot of complications. A lot, literally a lot. So in this video, we're going to try and break down some of these complicated products, really call out some products on the market right now that are a little more complicated than they're made out to be. So let's do it. So first, we're going to talk about the overly complicated products, meaning their formulations are super complicated. The products include so many different things that I feel like we're just overloading on active ingredients at this point. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not saying these products are bad whatsoever, and I actually really enjoy a lot of these products. But like I said, it's really understanding how to use them and really figuring out where you're going to put that in your routine based on like what other products you're using. Because again, a lot of these ingredients, they really like overlap, and then all of a sudden you're like overloading and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm using so much salicylic acid. And with that being said about salicylic acid, actually the first product I would like to discuss is the Naturium Vitamin C Super Serum Plus. Now this is a product I really enjoy. I really like this product. I think it's really elegant in formulation. It feels so good. It sits so well on the skin and it really layers well with other products, but it's a complicated serum. So obviously this is marketed as a vitamin C serum, and you know I love vitamin C. I will use it every single day in my morning routine. However, this one specifically, it has some other ingredients. It has that vitamin C, it has retinol, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and salicylic acid. Now before we really get into them, I would just like to note, normally I would say a lot of these ingredients, they cannot be paired alongside one another. However, when they're formulated together, it is a different story. So we're not gonna really talk about one ingredient not working well with another ingredient when it's in that same formulation. We're really talking about those ingredients being paired alongside other ingredients in separate products. Because when we layer our products like that, that's when we get into problems. The formulators take all that into consideration when formulating these products, so you don't really need to worry about all of that like irritation or sensitivity that you can get, because they like got it under control in these products. We just don't want to be our own chemist and layer all of these things ourselves with different products, so keep that in mind. So like I said, this serum is really elegant in formulation. I love it. I started using this product because I was using adapalene gel at the time. That was my retinoid of choice. It was really good for acne, but I heard a lot of dermatologists out there say that it was really good for acne specifically, and they're still doing a lot of studies and having conversations about whether adapalene gel is great for anti-aging effects. Really taking care of those wrinkles and fine lines, which is what I personally am using retinol for. We all deal with acne and congestion and clogged pores just in general. Everybody deals with it. So I was of course getting those benefits, but I was primarily targeting my fine lines and my wrinkles. So because I was using adapalene gel, I really liked the idea of the serum because it had that retinol in it. So I thought it was gonna give me like a little bit of retinol in the morning to really give me those anti-aging effects, and still I can get that powerful retinoid, which was that adapalene gel. So I was hoping at the time that I was gonna get the best of both worlds. And I feel like I did really see great results with this product, but let's just talk about why it got so complicated. This has that salicylic acid and this has that retinol, so I was not using this product at all at night because I had that adapalene gel in my routine. I would never want to pair something that has retinol already in it alongside another retinol or a retinoid, because that's really just going to be too much for the skin. And as I said, this also has salicylic acid in it, and I was finding that I was overloading on salicylic acid. I remember there was this one day I got out of the shower, I had used a salicylic acid cleanser in the shower, and I got out, I immediately grabbed this product. And then I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, I just used a salicylic acid cleanser. This has salicylic acid in it. And the next serum that I was using was the Versed Just Breathe Clarifying Serum, which also has salicylic acid and it has willow bark as well. I was just like, oh my gosh, all of my products right now have salicylic acid, and I could really irritate my skin with that because salicylic acid is so strong. It's literally amazing. I love salicylic acid, but I just don't need that much of it, you know? So with this serum specifically, you really need to look at the rest of your routine and see like, can I pair things alongside with it, which honestly, I wouldn't recommend. A serum like this, I feel like it should be your one and done serum. Literally just cleanse, use the serum, and then follow with a moisturizer to lock it in, and you're done. Don't complicate your routine when using a product like this. Keep it very simple, and then you won't need to worry about this like overdoing it with actives. Another serum that I find to be very similar is this one by the INNBEAUTY project. This is the SLUSHY Serum Moisturizer. Now just that name, the name of this product, that's making it a little more complicated too, but let's first break down the ingredients. So this has bakuchiol, hyaluronic hyaluronic acid, yuzu, and an even out complex, which helps with hyperpigmentation and dullness and all of that. Bakuchiol is a vitamin A derivative, so it pretty much acts like a retinol. It's a very gentle form of retinol. I tend to like Bakuchiol. I'd like to see it in my products. I feel like it's a really good ingredient, but I treat it as a retinol. So I'm not going to use Bakuchiol in one product when I have my retinoid or my retinol at night. That's just going to overcomplicate my routine again. So this is something that I found that I couldn't use at night because a retinol is always present in my night routine, either a retinol or an exfoliant, and I just don't want to be pairing like Bakuchiol next to any of those ingredients. Hyaluronic acid, fine, you know, that's literally in everything. That yuzu is really high in vitamin C, and so that's another thing. Again, in this product, having Bakuchiol and vitamin C in here, totally fine because the formulators made it that way. But then I found myself saying like, okay, I can't really use this at night because I have my retinol, and I can't use this in the morning because I have that vitamin C serum. And so I was feeling like I can't use this alongside what I normally use in my routine. This needs to be your one and done serum. You do not want to use multiple products with vitamin C. That can just really irritate your skin. Now let's talk about the name of it. This is a serum moisturizer. What the heck does that mean? If you have extremely oily skin, this is said to act as a moisturizer alongside a serum. So I feel like serum for dry people and moisturizer for oily people, but still I can't imagine that this would be really good for anybody, even with oily skin. This is so lightweight, like I would call it a serum. I mean, look, it's already gone. I would be very, very surprised if this could work as a moisturizer for anybody. I mean, it feels like it's already gone in my skin. Like, I don't think this can be moisturizer at all. But if you bought this and you have dry skin, please do not listen to that moisturizer title right there. Your skin will be dry, honey. There's a lot of these products that really like confuse you by the name of it, so let's get into some of those too. Let's talk about the Laneige Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer. Confusing, especially a toner and a moisturizer, like what? So I actually adore this product. This is one of my favorite products out there on the market. It is a beautiful, beautiful toner because it has those moisturizing properties to it, but don't get it twisted. I don't think that can ever act as a moisturizer for literally anybody. So I think the name just confuses people. I mean, if you were to just use that as your moisturizer, I think anybody would be dried out. Unless you're using it in the morning and you have like a really moisturizing sunscreen. Besides that, like there's no situation where I feel like this would be okay as a moisturizer. It's a beautiful hydrating toner, but it does have those moisturizing properties to it, but that just means like it's locking in that hydration prior to your moisturizer, but it's still not enough. And I think the only ingredient that they call moisturizing is that white leaf tea water, which is rich in amino acids to strengthen the skin barrier, moisturize, and soothe. That's not enough. An amazing product, but not a moisturizer. So I think if they just like knock that out of their title, it would be fine. Literally one of my favorite products, like I said, it's just not a moisturizer. Let's talk about an oil serum. This is by Good Habit. It's the Rescue Me Glow Potion Oil Serum. Now I just got this one, so I haven't used it too much, but let's just talk about why it's a little confusing by the title. So a serum, as you all know, is applied after cleansing, after toning, prior to a moisturizer. However, an oil, because it has the biggest molecule, it's applied at the end of your routine after moisturizer. Before sunscreen in the morning, but mostly at the end of your routine. Oils really are just moisturizing. They really lock everything in just a tad bit more. Oils can't really replace your moisturizer necessarily, but they are moisturizing. So just keep that in your mind. They're moisturizing, not really hydrating. So they will be applied last in your routine just to lock everything in. This one is called an oil serum and is applied prior to your moisturizer. Now there's oils in a lot of different products. There's oils in toners, there's oils in cleansers, there's oils in serums. So it's fine if a serum or anything before a moisturizer has an oil. It just gets confusing because when I received this in PR, I was like, wait, when do I use this? Before or after my moisturizer? One thing I can say though is when I received this, it is so beautiful. See how it's like separated like that, and then you have to shake it to really mix it up. And this is what it looks like mixed up. It's really stunning. It's an exciting product, and I don't really find that it feels moisturizing necessarily on my hand. Like I do find that those oils are extremely light, but those oils are actually really high up on the ingredients list. And a lot of those oils too. This has quite a bit of oils. And I think I might have lied a little bit. I actually do feel the oils quite a bit on my hand. So I'm excited to use this just to see. But based on how it feels and based on the ingredients list with all of those oils really high up on the list, although it says to apply this prior to your moisturizer, I probably would apply this at the end, after my moisturizer, before my sunscreen. Yeah, my hand feels, I mean, it feels very good, but it does feel like there's oil on my hand. So TBD, I will get back to you all with this and how I'm liking this, but it just gets a little confusing with all these like different product names in the title. I'm like, what product is this? Like what type of product? Let's talk about a product I haven't tried yet. I will probably really like the product. I just hate the way that it was marketed when it first came out. It's the SUPERGOOP Daily Dose Vitamin C plus SPF 40 Sunscreen Serum. Now you all know I've actually suggested sunscreen serums in the past. I really like the Neutrogena one and the one from Everyday Humans, the Resting Beach Face Sunscreen. The Resting Beach Face Sunscreen is honestly one of my favorite sunscreens out there. It's beautiful in formulation because it has that serum-like consistency. So when you hear serum, don't necessarily think like you should put it as your serum step. Just think of the consistency of it. Like it's a really lightweight, beautiful formula that feels like a serum on the skin, but because it's a sunscreen, it should always go last in your routine, no matter what. Sunscreen is your last step, no matter what. So why does this product say to apply it as your serum or treatment step in your routine? Why? Sunscreen goes last. It does. It's the golden rule across the board. If you have SPF in other products, like fine, but something like this that you use prior to your moisturizer cannot act as your only sunscreen. It can't, and you're probably not using enough if you're using it as your serum or treatment step. I mean, they do go on to say, as a pro tip, use the serum before your favorite SPF spiked moisturizer or primer. If this is the only SPF in your skincare routine, make sure to use a generous amount. So I appreciate that. It just doesn't make sense to use it as your serum step. And I think maybe it's because it has that vitamin C in there and you really want that vitamin C on your skin. And so they're treating it as a treatment rather than like a sunscreen. But I just don't think it's really working. I think if they just marketed it as a sunscreen by itself, it would be perfectly fine. I mean, I really like to have antioxidants like vitamin C in my sunscreen, but it still goes last. Always last. And so I'd probably like this product. If I picked it up, I would not listen to what they say and I would just use it at the end. I'm sure I would really like it. I love vitamin C and I love a serum like sunscreen. It's just, in my unprofessional opinion, marketed wrong. I'm sure it's a great product. It's just marketed very, very weirdly. And there was like an uproar on TikTok when this came out because people are like, what the heck? You can't have a sunscreen serum and apply it as your serum step. Yeah. And I kind of was like right there with them. It was weird. Let's just touch base on one other type of product, and that is treatment oils. These are going to be oils with some type of treatment or active ingredient thrown in that oil formulation. Whether it's like a retinol oil or a vitamin C oil or some other active ingredient thrown in that oil, this would be considered a treatment oil versus just like squalane or rosehip oil or marula oil. Those I guess you can categorize as just like regular moisturizing oils, but we have oils that get a little more complicated. I have here with me today Luna Sleepy Night Oil by Sunday Riley. I adore this product. This actually has retinol and blue tansy, which was also seen in that Good Habit serum. I love blue tansy so much. It's a little newer to me, but my complexion looks so happy and good after using it consistently. I mean, this product makes my skin so happy. I love this product so much. I'll talk a little bit more about this one specifically in like an empties video coming up, but I just want to show you an example of an oil with an active ingredient in it like retinol because I love it so much, and there's so many great options out there. I personally find that oils with active ingredients are going to be a little more gentle than like serums or moisturizers with that same active ingredient. So if you have sensitive skin or if you're just wanting like a little more gentle version of whatever active ingredient you're looking for, try it with an oil. I really enjoy it. As I said earlier, oils go at the end of your routine because the molecule is the biggest. However, that doesn't necessarily apply to treatment oils because think of it, you bought it primarily for that treatment ingredient. So if I'm buying an oil with a retinol or an oil with a vitamin C, you probably want the active ingredient to be most beneficial for you in your skin versus the moisturization of that oil. Does that make sense? Like if I'm going searching for a retinol product and I pick this one up, I'm probably buying this because I want the retinol benefits versus the moisturizing benefits. So where would I put this in my routine? If it's an oil, you would first think, let me put it at the end. But because you probably want the benefits of that retinol, I would put this before your moisturizer. Sunday Riley does a good job at explaining this. They actually say to put this under your moisturizer. Again, because this is really considered like a treatment step. So you want the benefits of those active ingredients. So it gets a little more complicated. I just think you really need to think about like why you bought that product and what you want out of it. If you put this on before your moisturizer, that active ingredient will actually be on the skin versus on top of your moisturizer, which kind of like dilutes that active ingredient. We talk a lot about this like with the sandwich method with tretinoin. Tretinoin is a really strong retinoid. It's like the strongest. It's like the grade A retinoid out there. And a lot of times it can really irritate people's skin. So a lot of dermatologists out there say to apply it on top of your moisturizer. And what that will do is kind of dilute the tretinoin a little bit. Like it's going to be a little less intense because it has that barrier that it needs to get through first before it actually hits your skin. Because a lot of moisturizers really include those occlusive ingredients that really lock in stuff. So think about that same kind of situation with treatment oils. So those are some of the confusing skincare products that are out there on the market right now. A lot of them are great. Some some of them are not. But sometimes they're just so confusing and they're really not explained too well. Or sometimes I find that we as skincare enthusiasts, we have like such a long routine with so many different products that all of a sudden our routines are getting so complicated and we're like overloading ourselves with all of these active ingredients that are often really strong. My biggest advice for you is to really sit down with your products one day, go through the ingredients list and see if you're really overloading on things like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, retinol, vitamin C, all these really strong ingredients. And if so, simplify your routine, like drop it down in numbers so you're not overloading and irritating your skin. Another way to do this is just to simplify in general. I mean, a lot of these products that include so many different active ingredients, it's gonna be best just to keep your routine simple and use that one serum and like that's it, because you're getting so many benefits from that one serum. So simplicity is best. It is a lot of times anyway. I mean, you don't really need a long routine, so just keep it simple. I hope this video didn't confuse you any further. If you have any questions about these products or any products out there, please leave them down below. All of these products, as always, will be listed down below in the description box. Before you head out, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. I would love to see you join the family. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.